everyone, it's Amy from Shugary Sweets, and today we are going to make brown butter. If you've never made brown butter before, it is the simple, easy technique that totally elevates your desserts. Okay, so we are going to start by turning our saucepan on low heat, and I'm grabbing a saucepan that is light colored. A stainless steel saucepan will work great as well. I would avoid using cast iron or something dark Teflon coated because you want to be able to see the color changing in the butter as it cooks. Okay, so we are going to drop this butter into the saucepan here, and I'm going to cook it over low. And the key for this is to not stir it. Everybody has their own techniques, you know, just like everybody's grandma has their own recipes for cake. This is my technique for browning butter. And the reason I don't stir it is because I really like to see that foam form on top, and I like to see the little brown bits on the bottom. So we're gonna just let this simmer away on low. As you can see, it's starting to bubble and foam as the butter melts here, and we are watching for more foam. And when it stops bubbling is usually when you'll know to check for the brown butter bits on the bottom. And you're just going to move the foam away as we do that. But we still have some butter sticks there melting away. One of the reasons I use low heat, you'll see some recipes call it to bump it up to medium heat, but I like to keep it on low because it's very easy for the browned butter bits to go from light colored brown to burnt, just like that. So we're gonna keep it nice and low, low and slow. So the butter is browning slightly, and those sticks are pretty much gone at this point. And I just scooch that foam over to look down below to see if there's any brown butter. And what we're doing is we're cooking off the water so that way the milk solids will start to brown up. And that's what gives it that slightly caramelized, nutty flavor. Browning your butter can take anywhere from about 5 to 7 minutes when you're cooking it on low. And I usually don't try to cook more than 1 cup of butter at a time. The more you put in the pan, the harder it is to manage and see those brown bits down there. Of course, the age-old question is, do you use unsalted butter or salted butter? I use unsalted butter because it allows me to control the amount of salt in the baked good. But it really doesn't matter. You'll get very similar results. But as a baker, I just tend to choose unsalted. All right, we're gonna give this a little check. We're just gonna move some of that foam to the side to check the bottom. The color of the butter is starting to get a little more rich, but we're not quite there yet. All right, we're starting to get a little popping, which means we're getting close. I can see some brown bits on the bottom just starting to form. So we're gonna watch this closely because like I said, it's gonna go from brown to black really fast. So you wanna really keep your eye on that. And everybody has their own level of what they consider brown butter. So you will learn for yourself when you've tried this what your level is. I am not quite at my level, but you'll see what I like, and then you can determine how you like yours. But you can see when I move that foam aside, you can see those little bits of brown bits in there. So we are very close. And one of the things we'll do once it gets to the level that I prefer it is we're going to transfer it to a bowl immediately because it will continue to cook once it's in this hot pan. So if you want it to stop browning, you have to transfer it immediately. Okay, we are almost there. You can see when I scrape the bottom here, all those little bits popping up, and the color of the butter is a light golden brown. So I think it's safe to say I'm ready to turn this off. And we are going to move it immediately to a bowl. And you want to make sure you get every single one of those little bits into your bowl because that's where that flavor comes from. And there you go, brown butter.